Yes, people, welcome back to the Graph Kings podcast. We're back in Moo-Moo's, Kent's hottest nightclub. Today we've got something a little bit different for you, a bit of an internal vibe, but we've got two female guests. I know we're always asking females' opinions on things and we're always talking on behalf of females sometimes, so we thought, why not get two females on ourselves and discuss our thoughts and opinions with them?
Nice.
Banging.
Do you guys want to introduce yourselves or?
Go on, Alicia.
So my name's Alicia and I'm a good friend of Ozzy's. We've known each other how long
Since
now?
2014?
Is it?
Yeah, 2014 going into 15.
Yeah. And I consider him one of my best friends. We've been through a lot together.
Yeah. Considering you've got an album full of shit on me, yeah.
I have actually got a whole photo album dedicated to Ozzy. It comes out once a year on his birthday. He never reshares it on his Instagram because obviously he wants to have a look about him.
Oh, fuck off. You know what? I knew bringing you here was a fucking mistake.
I've got the juice.
It took you 5 seconds to cuss me. You know that, you silly prick. Honestly. Oh, for fuck's sake.
I want to see the album now, bro. That's
I'll
it.
show you after.
That's it. We got that.
You can show them. No, you was obviously mentioned on the previous podcast, so they briefly kind of know about
All
you.
right, yep.
Obviously, the topic was, can men and women be friends? That's kind of where it started, and obviously I had to back our corner because obviously we can, but I said it's very fucking rare. But obviously
Yeah.
we'll go back into that.
Yeah.
We'll do one more intro, but
For sure.
Before I go off on one.
Girl.
My name's Brett. I'm friends with Mason. We've been friends for, I don't know how long it was.
Long time.
Long time.
Yeah, long time.
Probably like 10 years?
Yeah, long time.
Yeah, I don't know how we even met. It was just from being from Maidstone, wasn't
I
it?
think so.
And the rest is history. Haven't got an album on him, but we're still good mates and that. Not best friends, but...
He's never tried to lip you, has he? Next question,
Next
please.
question.
Jesus
I'm just
Christ.
saying, is it platonic?
No, he
is it
hasn't.
not?
It's platonic.
Yeah,
It is,
thank
yeah.
you. See, it can happen.
I'm just saying it can, but it's very fucking
Have you
rare.
tried to lip her before?
Never.
Definitely not.
Well then.
I literally roll lips to my nan and they're not even alive. They're not even alive. Like, I'm sorry, mate. But,
Fuck yeah, no.
this is it, though, innit? I just see her as like a geezer. Like, she's not even just a geezer.
Oh no.
Not an actual man, don't worry, but like as in just another person, innit? This is what I was trying to
Yeah.
explain last time. which
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand.
People
is,
don't get it. They don't. And I think the first thing people will say is, oh, what? Nothing's ever happened. Genuinely, nothing. Like, we've never even...
Thought about it.
No.
Never. We've literally become friends instantly.
Yeah.
And that's it.
How did that friendship start? How did it begin?
So I was in Thailand in 2014, going into 15. That's why I mentioned it
I
because
was there as well with my... Actually,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
there with my other guy, mate. Just me and
Yeah.
him went on holiday. Everyone thought that was weird as well. There was genuinely nothing in it at all. We were just friends. We wanted to go and volunteer with... it was like a dog and cat rescue centre in Thailand.
Love that.
And on our one night off, we went to a little house bar and Ozzy caught us dancing
in
in the
PP.
corner.
It was in PP. I saw these two pricks shuffling. I was like, you pricks are from Essex. You lot are from London, innit? She was like, yeah, they're like doing all of this, shuffling away. I was like, for fuck's sake, I've met another prick. But no, that's literally how we met. Yeah. Animal activist, this one as well. What are you, vegan? You don't like anyone that hates against fucking animals,
but
all that bollocks.
I'm not a preachy vegan.
That's
You're
all right.
not the
That's another subject because I honestly see why people dislike us.
Yeah, well, I'll send her pictures of me like munching on a burger or some sort of chicken.
But I'm not gonna like not talk to you because
Yeah.
you're. But there are a lot of people. It's very full on. It is a full on move. It's a pretty strong movement. And it's intense. Even for me, being a vegan, it's intense at times.
Yeah. You mentioned they kicked you out of the vegan vegan group on Facebook.
I've been
or
kicked out of the
something.
vegan community.
How?
What?
For what?
So I'm not a feminist at all in the slightest, but a lot of vegan women believe that you should be a feminist. So because I'm not, they basically said to me, well, I say there was a few of them that said, oh, you're not welcome in the vegan community.
And
That's
Alicia's
That's
quite
two different
vocal
issues,
as
though.
well.
I'm
Yeah.
vocal,
Feminism
yeah.
and veganism.
Honestly,
They
it
don't go
is,
hand
but
in hand.
I can understand why other people look at vegans and think we're a pain in the arse. I can completely see it, but
Yeah.
not all of us are. Like, some of us genuinely just love animals.
Yeah.
Some of them are very, very preachy.
But
which
a
I
lot
can
of
get.
people just jump onto the bandwagon anyway because
Yeah.
it's like either popular trending or like I should be thinking this, if not someone's going to get
Yes.
upset. A lot
Yeah.
of people just agree with it even if they don't. But that's why I rate Alicia a lot, and I've said it to you boys off like camera as well. She just says it how it is. She don't give a fuck, which is
I don't understand how them two correlate in being a vegan and being a feminist though. Like,
I suppose
why are
they talk
trying
about
to-
it in groups.
It's almost quite cult-like sometimes. I'll be
I
honest.
can- I can-
Honestly,
I can imagine.
Honestly,
Yeah, I can imagine.
it really is. Like, I'm just here. I love animals. I'll never hurt an animal. Don't want to eat one. That's it. Like
Yeah,
I'm not judging everyone.
So you're not one of the vegans that go to Harrods and like chuck paint up all the leather. And...
I have.
What?
What? I haven't done that, but I have. I've been to protests and that, and I can see why people do that. But then I also think it's not going to get our point across.
No, it doesn't.
It isn't going to get our point across.
Get out of the way, kind of thing.
Yeah, it is. So it's hard to have a balance, but I wouldn't like be horrible to you or be. I would say, I think that's cruel. This is do you know that this is how fur is whatever. This is how they get the fur off the animal. But I wouldn't want to be really preachy and judgy because
I swear you used to go around like sticking stickers on people for wearing fur or something. This silly prick, she would go around if they're wearing fur, she'll have a sticker in her bag ready, but like put something on them that says like say no to fur.
There's a knack of doing it as well. You've got to do it really softly.
Why am I friends with you?
As you walk past them, you just got to do it really, really slowly so that they don't notice and they walk around the whole.
What, when you're like on the tube and stuff?
Yeah, I used to do it all the time when I was on the way to work.
That's so funny.
I've relaxed a little bit now though. I'm not as on it because I can see that was a bit annoying.
Did you say you're with someone at the moment?
Yeah.
Is he vegan as well?
Vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
Yeah.
Are you trying to get him to be?
Sorry to hear that.
Tommy boy, if you're listening.
I would find it really hard to date someone that did eat animals.
See, look. So we said this about the other way around. So I'm a massive foodie.
Yeah.
There's nothing I don't eat, and like for me, it's kind of a love language that like sharing food with somebody is a big thing, right? If you're cooking for someone or whatever. So, and we were saying last pod that we would struggle, and I would struggle to date someone who didn't have the same eating habits as me.
Yeah, it'd be so hard.
I really would.
Yeah, I get that. I would struggle as well. Like, and I would never. It's not like I'm gonna say, I'm doing to judge you, but I would really struggle to.
Yeah, proper.
Even like going out to restaurants and that. Like, I love food as well. I know you're gonna think, oh, what do you eat? Air, but I actually do enjoy food.
The animal's free there as well, so you can't really have that either.
But I do love food and I love eating, but it's just easier when you're dating someone.
See,
Yeah, I agree.
this kind of comes on to the point of what we was talking about before coming here. I said, essentially, when you look for a partner, it's exciting when you find someone that's the opposite of you. But when it comes to long term, you do actually want someone that has the same beliefs or to some sort of respect the characteristics and certain things like this to make your life easier.
I like opposites in terms of having a different opinion about stuff for me. Like if I say I believe X, Y, and Z, and she's like, actually, no, do you know what? Have you thought about this way of thinking? Have you thought about this opinion? I'm like, I want someone who's actually going to challenge my way of thinking.
Yeah.
When it comes to stuff like that, though, like my eating habits, and say like, do you want to go and eat here? No, I don't.
Just can't.
Yeah, like, oh, do you want a bacon sandwich? Breakfast? Yeah, absolutely not. Like, fuck's sake. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. Like,
Your boys eat like meat when they go to their dads, don't they?
Yeah, but that's not my choice.
No, it's not,
I brought them up, obviously, not eating it. And I know everyone's going to moan about that.
oh, okay. So you're pushing that on them, are you?
She's trying.
I don't even have like meat in the house. I wouldn't even know how to cook it now. I've not eaten an animal for what? Before I met you, wasn't it? So what's that? So I'd say maybe 12, 13 years.
Okay, long time.
And I'm still alive. And as much as people want to say, oh, what do you survive on? But I didn't bring my kids up eating meat.
Okay.
They're in secondary school now, and I know for a fact I give them their pocket money, and I know they go chicken shop after school. I absolutely know it, but what can I do?
I fed them wings when they came to my restaurant, though.
I bet
I was
you
like,
did.
look, your mum's not looking, have some of this. And
I
gave them some wings.
took my little boy out to the pub on the weekend, bought him a nice little veggie lunch. As soon as my back was turned, I turned around and someone bought him a burger.
Good man. Good man. Would you actively try and stop them from eating?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay, so you don't even want to just be like, look, your mother doesn't eat this because of X, Y, and Z, but you can do what you want to make in your own choice.
I am a little bit pushed. I've kind of given up now because they're older. They do what they want. When they go to their dads, they do eat meat. But yeah, I have tried. It didn't work.
Okay, fine.
There's nothing else I can do. Like I've tried. I showed them videos when they was little. I know that's
Oh wow.
You're fucked.
Wow, you're a
I know,
dictator.
I actually feel quite bad. I actually do feel really bad. I just showed them like a slaughter video.
A slaughtering.
She does that a lot. She'll share a lot of things with me as well. I'm like, look at this. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm still going to eat it. Like, it
Now that you're
means
saying
nothing
it out
to
loud,
me.
I do feel a little bit bad because I think one of them was traumatised.
Well, I'm not surprised.
This is what happens in a slaughterhouse. This is how pigs get their heads chopped off. This is how X, Y, Z.
That was kind of it, yeah. And I do feel a little bit bad now, but that was just me trying to show them because I don't think that is quite hidden facts. Like you don't really know where it comes from.
Oh yeah, of course you don't. I see something the other day that they took fruit out of a supermarket in like a packet. And I think it might have even been, just get what we call as a packet. You got like a fresh bunch of strawberries, yeah? They'll say they're fresh strawberries. They took them to a lab, squeezed these strawberries down, and the juice that they got out of the strawberries, they were able to use that same juice. It had that much pesticides in it. They was able to reuse that juice that came from it to respray over new crops.
See?
There was that. It was, I know. I was, and after that, I said to Omar the other day in the gym, after I showed him the video, I was like, that makes me now just want to go and get any fruit and veg just fresh from a farm.
Yeah.
Just I don't want to go to the
Organic,
supermarket.
basically,
Yeah,
yeah.
completely organic. But even then, you still don't know.
No, you don't know.
You know what I mean? You still
Fake
don't know.
meat is bad for you. Fake meat, there's
Oh
Corn,
god, yeah. Oh,
Was it called
awful.
corn?
Yeah.
Corn?
it is bad for you. Like, I know that. Like, it's so hard to be. I think the only way that you can be really, really healthy and know what is if you do everything yourself. Who's got time for that?
Yeah, that's hard, isn't it?
Or the space for like the,
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? The equipment.
I've always said I want that though for my kids. I do want I want chickens in the garden and
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff, so they can go and get their own eggs.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
hundreds you know where it comes from. You have apple trees and stuff like that.
What, and then show them how it's slaughtered.
I think it's also I think it's good for kids to grow up around animals though. I think it's good for kids to grow up
100%,
around animals.
100%. It really is.
100%, and it also then does teach them. I know it sounds really sad, but it actually does teach kids about life and death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, look, one day this is going to happen, and it is whatever you want to call it, but it is the circle of life that
Yeah.
these things die and they grow,
Yeah,
recreate,
of
and then eat, and so on and so forth. So it is actually good for kids to grow up around
Yeah.
animals and see them die and watch them. That sort of stuff. I know it sounds cruel, but it's actually a good thing.
No, I
No, it
actually
is, it
agree.
is.
But times have kind of changed because everyone's a bit delicate at the moment. So
very.
what they want the kids to see, what they don't. Like, I think a lot of kids are oblivious to maybe how our parents kind of saw stuff as well. Because like knowing, for example, my dad, he grew up working from 8 years old. That made him a stronger person. But I feel like a lot of people are quite delicate with their kids. I mean, I don't have any. You do, so you could probably answer that better as well. To like,
Yeah, I think they are. It goes from one extreme to the other. You've got people that are either really delicate and sheltering their kids, or you've got kids that have been exposed to everything. Once they start going to school, it's a different ball game because
Yeah,
you can't, you cannot hide them from things anymore in school. Like,
What's your opinion at the minute though about just intrigue? It seems like you've got onto kids there, but what is your opinion in terms of the agendas and things that are being pushed on kids today about all that types of stuff? Like,
Yeah, good question.
do you agree with that? Do you not agree with that? Like, obviously, look, you've pushed your own kind of agenda on your own kids, but
Yeah.
they're your kids, so you can
Yeah.
you can do what you want.
I pushed my agenda and it didn't work.
Yeah. Right, okay.
I failed
enough.
massively. I don't agree with it at all. I think
Okay, cool.
the innocence is being taken away from kids. It's really sad.
Yeah. proper.
I used to take my kids to Gay Pride. I
Okay.
used to take them when we was younger because it used to be about love and partying and having fun and like all the the bright colours, everyone dressing up. I don't think it's like that anymore, and I wouldn't take them again. And it's
Wow,
quite
okay.
sad, really,
Yeah, fair.
because we used to go every year, but now what they're pushing in schools, I just don't. There's no need for it. There isn't any.
But you hit the nail on the head. Is that so you're taking innocence away from children now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't need to know this stuff. Like
No.
the stuff, honestly,
Too much, isn't it?
Yeah, we've said that they're very
mental.
impressionable kids. Like their heads are like a sponge. When
Big time.
And it's like whatever. It's like not being conscious of, like, for example, hypothetically speaking, there's a yellow car you don't know exists until someone says yellow car. Now you're gonna fucking see it
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So talking about the certain things that are being pushed on them, they talk about it as if like they need to learn it at that age. They don't. But then as soon as you say that, these kids are getting confused. They're saying 1 in 4 kid now is like confused about their sexuality and if they should be a boy or a girl.
In my kids' school, there's
1 in 4 kids
changing all
now.
the time. They're changing all the time. It's a fine line, isn't it? Because obviously people might say that I was wrong for taking them to Pride when they were younger, but I was just trying to teach them that you can love who you want to love.
Yeah.
There's a difference
Yeah.
between then saying, actually, you need to go to the doctors and go and put yourself on some medication that's going to potentially change you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And
you can't undo that either.
You can't.
No.
It's actually nice. It's scary what they're doing now.
Yeah.
It is scary.
They tried to lower the age. Was it in Scotland? Was it? They're trying to do it to like 16.
Yeah.
No, I
Something
think
like
it was
that?
younger.
Was it younger?
And they
what?
didn't have
To
to,
do
get
what?
permission.
To lower the age of when you could change your sexuality
Yeah.
or something like that. I
No,
think-
no, your gender.
Your gender was it?
Yeah, and you don't need to get your parents' permission.
Yeah.
But I get that.
Yeah.
There is kids that are in the wrong gender. I get that. But all of a sudden it's almost like they're making you feel if you are happy with your gender, something's not right.
Yeah, that's
Like,
right. Yeah.
Like, just let them be kids. Let them enjoy themselves. Let them do what they want to do when they're older.
I'm not being funny. I'm sorry, but you don't know what's going through your head at that age.
No.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think you really even know what's going through your head up to like in your early 20s.
Yeah.
My little boy's
maybe
going to kill
later.
me for
Do you know what
saying
I mean?
this, but when he was about, do you remember when Albie went through a stage of wearing my clothes?
Yeah.
He's going to he's actually going to say, Mum, please.
Yeah, I
told you."
remember this.
I've got pictures of him. He looked so he had long ringlets down to here. He wore my clothes. He wore my jewellery. He says to me, Mum, I want to wear makeup. I was like, all right, mate, if you want, you can do what you want. It was a phase. It's gone now.
Yeah, that's it.
It's done.
But that's what I
Yes.
mean. Imagine having that phase and then having like the pressure of like school and people around you and being
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is now you. It's
Yeah.
not a phase. Do you know what I mean?
This is you now.
And then your parents actually putting you through that transition as well, without actually deeper understanding like
Yeah.
why they're saying what they are, because it is a phase. You go through like whether it's that because it's been pushed on kids. I thought I was a grunger at one point when I was a kid. I was wearing
Pictures
I was wearing
never
I'm
happened.
showing you shit, mate. Long t-shirt with a short t-shirt on it. I had a skateboard, done my hair in a little punk thing. I was quite young. Like,
It's, it's just a
listen-
phase.
bro,
It's just
listen-
a phase, isn't it? Yeah,
I
it's
told
just
you
a
boys
phase.
before, yeah. I grew up with 7 women, 4 cousins, 2 my auntie and mum, and 4, and my sister, auntie and mum. So 7 women, right? When I was young, I didn't have like boy cousins, bro. They used to put me in their skirts and stuff. I used to do little videos. I used to dance about.
Listen,
My uncle.
That's my Aussie album.
My uncle used to get pissed off. He used to get vexed at me, like he was a proper man's man, like traditionally, and I'd be like doing all of this, all of this bullshit. And like back then, it was just a bit of banter. So
It's a phase.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a phase. I was just doing it for a laugh, but I didn't do that all the fucking week. I wasn't like Albie or Marley. I didn't do that. But you know what I'm trying to say? Like they could have. This day and age, if I'd done that, they would have said, "Oh yeah, you're probably
course.
doing that because
Yeah.
You're subconsciously thinking
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
something
exactly.
else.
Yeah.
Do you
It's
know
a
what I mean?
normal thing for a kid to do. Like everyone knows that. We know that it's normal for kids to explore and boys can play with dolls. It doesn't mean that they want to go and change their gender. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
true.
It just let them do what they want to do and then discover themselves as they're getting older. But at the moment, they're putting such final things on it. The kids are coming out. They're going to come out damaged. Like there's
Yeah,
no
of
way
course
that
they
they
will.
couldn't.
I think that's going to damage the way that people have relationships, and like they say actually the biggest risk to humanity at the minute is underpopulation.
yeah,
Like, and it's not spoken about. People think we're overpopulated. We're a
not.
massively
We're not, yeah, of
underpopulated
course.
planet. Massively.
even
The-
China said that.
the age that people are having kids is a hell of a lot older now.
Yeah.
The average age. I mean, I think there's, for example, in Japan or China, they've got a massive issue.
Yeah.
Like 70% of their population is over 75
70,
years old. That's
Really?
that's horrendous.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
over
That's
75.
Because people aren't having kids.
Yeah, I think they've changed that rule again from having 1 kid per family.
Yeah, China
now,
can
haven't
have two children now, not just
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
Have they?
change it because underpopulated.
That's crazy, isn't it?
And that's where that's basically where this is going to end up. It's
Yeah,
just
of
like people
course.
don't know how to have relationships. They don't know how to communicate effectively.
Yeah,
They don't know how to flirt. They do because they're going to be too worried about saying the wrong thing or coming across the wrong way.
You
Or,
can teach them that.
listen, from what I
Masterclass for Mason.
what I saw on the weekend, yes, you absolutely fucking can.
Every weekend, not
Nah,
just this
nah, nah.
weekend, every weekend.
Past weekend was the first time I've seen Mason in full fucking control, like full fucking motion. I can say he's the official Graph King, mate. Fuck me, the things I saw.
beep, 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 beep.
Ping pong ball, bro. But like
true, though.
talking of like communicating, obviously it's a massive like problem at the moment between men and women. What do you think like men and women can do to effectively like communicate better to help them in their relationships, whether it's within an actual relationship or even in their families, because it is a massive problem at the moment.
Just talking.
Yeah,
Not everything's an argument. I think everyone's just, they always argue when you're trying to communicate at these day and age. It just turns into screaming matches and you just need to talk.
yeah. It's not what you say. It's always usually how you say it. But I think the problem is that a lot of people don't want to listen. They just want to speak.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't hear what the other person is saying. And
Yeah.
again, when you're arguing, that tends to be 9 times out of 10 the case. But I feel like a lot of people have forgotten how to communicate and actually just talk and understand each other. What does the other person think? Like, what is it? What is their opinion? Why is their opinion the way it is?
Yeah, and understanding.
So taking accountability, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of just thinking that that's wrong, that's the biggest thing. I think this. Okay, cool. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I just think X.
Yeah.
I know you think Y, but
Yeah.
I think X.
Yeah.
You love an X, Y,
Do you know what I
and
mean?
Z.
But it's just like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong. That's not what
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
It's just not how I see things, and that's it.
Yeah.
We've fallen into a thing where if someone doesn't have the same opinion as you, that's it.
It's
You've
an
got to
argument.
love
Fall
it.
out, yeah,
It
that's
doesn't
it.
need to be like that. Like we need to learn from. So I listen to like podcasts that are directed at men because I've got 2 sons. I need to understand men.
Yeah.
I need to understand them as they're growing up. I need to know how they're feeling. I need to know what emotions they're going to be going through. As a mother of 2 teenage boys, that's my duty. I feel like as a person who is in a relationship with a man, it's also my duty to know. I don't feel like I'm going to be honest. It's not,
go for
I
it.
don't feel like men do that as much to women though. I think you lot need to understand us a little bit more.
What? Elaborate on that for us.
Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. What are you fucking want, mate?
If we're gonna sit and listen to, I'm not just talking about listening to podcasts, but if we're gonna try and understand men, it needs to work both ways. So you need to understand women as well. Like we do go through a lot every month.
Right now.
It's like it is a lot. So we need to understand each other. I haven't.
I agree. Yeah.
I haven't got teenage daughters. I've just got teenage boys. But from my perspective, I do feel like it's my duty to understand men and kind of like see how they work in a sense. I'm not just gonna sit there and think, oh, they've done this, that's out of order, they shouldn't be doing this because they're a man. They're doing it because they are a man, yes, but I need to know why.
I think women are very complicated creatures, right? You are, but I think women overcomplicate the way men are. People don't realize how
Men are so simple.
Simple.
Yeah.
They're
simple.
so
Quite
simple.
simple, mate.
They
Yeah.
are.
We do overthink.
Massively. You overthink about what we're doing, about what we said.
Yeah.
It's like we're really not doing fuck all.
Yeah.
Like, we really ain't.
I
Do you know what I mean?
I just feed Ruben and fold his boxes. He's fine.
So happy.
He's all right. Nothing else.
Yeah, we do probably overcomplicate. I definitely do. But at least we can admit that, like, and I can see where I've gone wrong. I think back to like years ago when I just used to, any partner I had, just start rows for the sake of it. It's like I was getting off on it.
It's all coming back to me.
They do that. It's always like, oh, women love a row. They just love a
Well,
row.
I could expose the shit out of you. Some of the arguments and shit I've seen, so oh my goodness, mate. You can fucking go off on one when you have to as well, mate.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I can.
She's a swinger, mate. It's not like that. Sorry. I meant she'll throw fists if she has to.
met, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get
That
the
weren't
sex
no
on
little
her.
bar in Thailand you did. I don't know where you're at.
What? Beep, beep, beep. What? Oh god.
All right, leading on from that then, in terms of that, a massive thing at the minute is talking about people keep referring back to sort of traditional values around what are traditional values and how are they now brought into the 21st century. And I'm not saying all traditional values are correct, right? But I do feel as though people go, oh, the good old days and stuff like that. But when it comes to men and women, I think people were far more respectful. Traditional values were in place for a certain reason, for in some circumstances. So be honest, girls, like, you know, us boys voice our opinion pretty clearly for everyone to hear. So this is why we love having females on, because we're giving our opinions and we're giving our side of things. So tell us from your own words, like, what you feel traditional values are, what should still be around today in traditional values in relationships between men and women, not just one-sided. Like, what does that look like to you? Ooh.
I think it's going to be impossible for us to have traditional values like we used to years ago, because women have got to work now. We have to. Like I have to graft. I've always had to, even when my kids were little. So there isn't so much of that. Women stay at home and work. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. If I could have done that, I probably would have, but I was never in the position to.
Okay, fair.
My mum goes, it's so sad. I walk out and I see all these really elderly grandparents having to look after their grandkids now. And I think, oh, it's not that bad. But she's like, yeah, but it wasn't like that years ago. The mum
it's
did
true.
it. It's literally impossible now, unless you're really financially secure. Yeah, it's just not going to happen, is it?
No. I feel like as well that people always say like traditional values, they think it's just the women that's lost them, but men's lost them as well.
Yeah,
We've all-
yeah.
I feel like whenever it gets brought up, it's like, yeah, women don't do this anymore, women don't do this. Like, well, men don't do this either.
Yeah.
Like,
We've said this as well. Yeah.
it's the same, isn't it? We've all just lost it. So it's like, we've just got to get with the times now. I don't think it's not going to go back. So we need
It's
to just
never
learn
going to go
with
back, is it?
going
Never.
forward.
What traditional values do you think men's lost then?
Well, like you said, women don't normally
like
work.
What you said.
Yeah,
Come on.
like,
Don't look at Alicia.
No.
What do you think we've
okay,
lost?
well, saying like women stay at home and cook and clean, I'll do that then, but I'm not going to work. I'm not doing it both. I'm not going to work and staying at home and cooking and cleaning. Like, if you want to pay for my nails, pay for my girls' holiday and stuff,
Yeah.
you can do that, but
I think that's a fair point.
it's
Yeah,
fair.
it's very fair, yeah.
You pay for my life, I'll stay at home. Girl, you're not going to do that. Ruben wouldn't. If I said to Ruben, I'll be more traditional, stay home, I'll cook, I'll clean, I won't do this, whatever, X, Y, and Z, but I'm not going to work. He'd be like, no, you're going to work.
Yeah.
Go to Marbella and go to work.
You can't get both of both worlds. I
Yeah.
completely
Yeah, I
agree.
agree
And I
with
was
that.
having this thought to myself. I said, if I'm with someone and I'm in a position to be able to look after her and my kids or whoever around me, then I wouldn't have the expectation of her to have to go to work. However, I would expect her to be able to kind of hold up the house end from
Yeah.
when I'm not around, when I'm at work, when I'm grafting, when I'm doing my thing. I would expect her to be able to do all of that. If she didn't want to do all of that, then it wouldn't work for me.
No.
Because I think if I'm out there grafting,
Yeah.
looking after us,
Yeah.
100%.
I would have a bit of an expectation that she's going to hold up the household. Like
Yeah.
I saw this like video of a guy coming home after like an 18-hour shift, and the woman's not made him nothing, and he's obviously
seen
fuming
that.
about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
And she's like, "Yo, I don't give a shit. You can have my leftovers." And I'm
It's like
thinking,
a leftover slice of pizza.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
actually
I'm-
made me really sad.
yeah, and I was like, that's actually really out
Yeah,
of
no,
order.
that
Like
won't
this
run.
guy's grafting, he's putting food onto the table. You're actually eating that pizza because he's working, and you can't be bothered to put like a little dinner in front of him to be able to eat and think it's okay.
Yeah.
That was almost, it was like watching an abusive situation. The way she belittled him.
Yeah.
She was like, it was basically like, have the scraps.
Yeah.
I've been at home all day. To me, you wouldn't want to make someone feel like that. Like this person's been out grafting, you've been at home. You can't, as you say, you can't have the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
I mean, I work from home and I find myself on my lunch break cleaning the house.
Yeah, you do,
Cleaning
to be
it
fair.
after I've been, like, you know, I'm a bit of an OCD. I'm exhausted from cleaning, but what can I do?
It's because you're working at home though. You're more inclined to kind of do that as well in
Yeah.
between. But
Yeah,
I suppose it
definitely.
depends on the nature of your job as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's like Dr. Dolittle, mate. She's got so many animals. It's a madness. She's got 3 dogs. She's got a cat, a hairless cat. She had 2 hamsters,
rabbits,
2 hamsters, guinea pigs,
guinea pigs, yeah, and a rabbit,
a rabbit, and what else?
a tortoise.
A
Love
tortoise.
that. I want a tortoise.
She had air shit, bro. She could actually talk to him. Fucking Dr. Dolittle
My
prick.
cat used to wee on the toilet.
Yeah,
And I
actually.
never ever taught him. That's how intelligent he was. He must have seen me do it one day, and then he went and done it.
I love cats.
You love cats. I was gonna say you
I
love cats.
I
and
love
you love
cats.
like big cats.
They're
don't you?
underrated,
Yeah,
aren't
oh,
they? They're
proper.
so underrated.
I've always said about cats is that you'll never understand a cat unless you have one.
Yeah, they're
So you own a cat, you won't understand them.
They
Yeah,
just
your one's
scare me
quite
a
friendly
bit,
though
cats.
as well.
he's so friendly.
No, then the cats are amazing, man. I've always wanted a
It's
koala.
the hairless one though. Like there's no hair on the
no, that's
fucker.
a bit much.
Looks like you're left nut after a shave, man.
Yeah, but I don't mind. But whenever he comes to mine, he uses him for a photo opportunity. He knows he's going to get him
We
likes.
know what Ozzy does. He gets the babies. He gets
He
the
puts
kids.
a comment, oh, what on earth is that? And then he can get a little conversation back.
Why are
That's
you
he
baiting
does
me
it.
up for, you prick? Fucking hell. No, to be fair though, if I've ever spoke to a bird or like follow someone and they follow, I do the CRB with Alicia straight away. Send them like the Instagram. Alicia, who's this? She's like, stay away, it's my mate. I'm just asking, would she go over?
Ozzy.
What? I'm just
I've stopped
saying.
tagging him in my stories now because every single time I tagged him, someone would message, oh, who's your friend?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I've had enough. I'm not Cilla Black. I'm not doing it. So I don't tag him anymore.
Listen, you've got to be a good wingman to your friends, don't you?
That's true.
What do you guys think about like the modern way of obviously everyone's dating nowadays? I know obviously you're with someone you have been for a long time. I was actually there when she met her other half, but
yeah.
obviously nowadays the biggest way you're kind of going to meet someone is through online dating. But what is your kind of conception or your thoughts about that?
I don't get it, if I'm honest. I don't get it.
Go on.
The dating apps.
Elaborate.
I don't know. I just think I guess it's like the same as talking to someone on social media. But me personally, I don't know. It's just not a bit of me. Just meeting strangers on there.
But
Yeah.
Can you meet anyone authentically now? Like,
you
Difficult.
can,
They
but
can
it's
be who they
difficult.
want to be. They can be whoever they want online.
yeah, it's
But,
fake.
but I think women do need to understand the pressure of men actually having to speak to women, because you got to understand not a lot of men have the confidence, or even if they are good looking, they don't have it. And it's the rejection that men are scared of. And nowadays women obviously seeing social media probably having like a bit of an expectation of you having your shit together, a certain status,
Yeah.
certain like characteristics, charisma, funny, tall, handsome, all of these checklists that you guys have. And when they know maybe they don't have that, they're probably shit scared to speak to people in person. So online is probably
Easier
the
for
only
them.
way they think they can do it. Because don't
I never
forget,
thought of it that way.
No, I
they
never
need to
either.
approach you guys.
Yeah.
You
You
don't
don't
need
have
to
to
approach
approach
Yeah,
men.
that's true.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that.
It is
So-
probably harder for men, isn't it? You just
It
have to go out
100%
and be.
is.
Sometimes, of course it is.
Yeah.
We have to go and find you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girls just have to be out.
Yeah,
Girls
yeah,
have to be
yeah.
like.
There you go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, girls, don't get me wrong. Girls do approach guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, girls do slide into boys' DMs and things like that. Of course, it happens.
Yeah.
It does happen. But traditionally, right, for the most part, the guy even if the girl does come into your DMs, it's still on the guy to now arrange when are we going out,
Yeah.
when are you free, we're
Yeah.
going to go here. We need to find out what type of things you like to eat and drink. So
Yeah.
you want to go to the right places. Like it's on the guy to arrange, which it should be. I fucking believe
Yeah.
it should be on the guy to go and do that. But there's also so much stigma now online around the way that guys approach, you go, oh, he's in my DMs. Like, how the fuck else do you think he's going to say hello to you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you moaning about the fact that guys are trying to say hello to you? And just ignore the ones that you don't want to chat to. And it's pretty
100%.
easy. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's I suppose, what would you say is like a good way and a bad way for guys to approach you? What's cringy? What's not? Like,
what works, what don't.
yeah, what works, what doesn't? Even on a night, you can take it both ways, on social media and on a night out.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've been in that situation. I have not got a clue, honestly. I mean,
How would you like it to happen? Like, if someone's to approach you, because again, leading off what Mason just said, a lot of women don't like nice guys anymore. So now in our mindset, we're thinking we need to be a bit cheeky or a bit of a prick for this person to give me a bit of something back, because it's a fact. Like
If you're too nice, you don't ever
honest,
be a
right?
simp, yeah? You don't ever be a fucking...
Let's be honest. Any woman that's listening to this, you guys, there is going to be someone in your DMs that you say that is your friend, that you know would be an excellent boyfriend or a fella, but you don't want him. Why? Because he's just a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's just that nice guy that you could talk to, that you could be around. However, when it comes to like a boyfriend basis or a partner basis, you're looking for something a little bit more exciting. Hence why a lot of women go for bad boys.
I'll tell you what, let's ask that question, actually. That's a good one. Because we spoke about this, just us boys. Okay, girls. Be as honest as you can be, right? When it comes to that whole bad guy theory, what's good about it, what's not?
I don't know, because Ruben's a good guy. Like, I don't go for bad guys.
Yeah,
I've never
I
seen
don't
the attraction.
either.
Like,
no,
it's just
I wouldn't.
Okay,
messy.
cool. That's what we want to hear. Why? Like, why? Do you understand when girls say, "Oh, I love a bad boy" and all that sort of stuff?
I can.
Explain that to us.
I know people that have said that, and I can see it because maybe it's exciting, and maybe they think they're going to be the one to change that person. But let's be honest,
You're not gonna.
you're not going to. And I think social media allows a lot of people to live this fake lifestyle. Most of them ain't even bad boys; they're just living that life.
Yeah.
It's very true, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they're just living it. It's very unlikely that you change them. I just wouldn't have the energy.
No.
Honestly, I'm
It'd be
flat.
draining. It'd be
I
so
wouldn't-
draining.
Yeah, I'm tired already. I wouldn't.
Because you're getting on a bit though, that's probably why.
I'm tired and I'm 24.
I'm over 10 years older than you. Imagine how I feel. I'm exhausted, mate. I'm drained.
You can't tell because she's had a lot of work done.
Great. You look really great.
What? Beep, 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 beep. I've had nothing done, Brett. No, but I think it is pretty much a chase for women as well.
Yeah.
It has to be, because as much as like a guy, do you know what it is? Like when a woman kind of puts it all on the table to you, you don't really want it sometimes, do you? You want a bit of that chase as well. And I think that's kind of
Happens the same
when
way
you flip it
around,
around, that's kind of what it's based on as well. But
Girls like the chase too.
they do, but girls will let a man wife them even though knowing that they're a bit fucked up and they've got X, Y, Z behind them. Like, they're actually attracted to that, where for a guy it's probably just going to be sex.
Yeah.
For us it's more likely to say I'm kind of dealing with this and that because I'm just going to get my end away. Where for a woman, we like to think, we tend to think there's a bit more of an emotional connection there. And when you're emotionally connecting to a guy that's actually no good for you, it's like knowingly doing that. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to us.
So you don't see like longevity in that type of girl kind of thing. It's just a quick fix.
We
But
need
girls
to
want to
protect
change
our
the
energy
guy.
as well, don't we? Women don't do that enough.
No.
Like, no one else is responsible for looking after us but us. So as much as we might go and, like, women might go and put themselves in a situation and then something bad happens, and yes, obviously we blame the man, but we also need to protect ourselves and not put ourselves in that situation. Like, we have to look after ourselves first before no one else is going to.
Yeah.
Elaborate on that. Elaborate on that a little bit more. What are you talking about in terms of them situations? Like what?
Fuck's sake.
Oh no. What?
Go on.
Come on.
Okay, so we'll use Ozzy's Sainsbury's situation.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got something to say about that.
Oh, go on, Brett.
Go on then. Let's fucking have
Go
it.
back, girl.
Let's fucking have it.
Melanie, you go first.
So obviously I knew about this before it come out, and I did say to him, yes, I think it's wrong. I've also said, and you'll back me on this, I don't think the girl was a catfish. She wasn't. She just probably wasn't his type. Yeah. But I looked at her and thought I've seen her pictures. I thought she was lovely. I just know the girls that he goes for. Yeah. So what he did wrong was he didn't invest time getting to know her before coming. What she did wrong is also not invest time in getting to know him before coming all the way across from wherever.
Should have found out as a knob before.
She went far.
She should have.
Her safety was not a priority that day because he could have been anyone.
Yeah, wow. Very true. Wow, okay, yeah.
So as women, that's what I'm saying. We need to protect ourselves.
She's put herself in that situation. that what you're saying,
I
basically?
don't think she deserved to.
I said that as well.
Yeah,
Stranded in
what she said.
Sainsbury's.
Listen, I'm not saying what I did was
Yeah.
right. I put my hands up. It wasn't nice. Now I look back, I'm like, bro, why didn't you just say it? Just say something's come up. But I just panicked. I was panicking.
I need air. I need air.
I'm gonna lose my job. Oh, mate, listen, I panicked.
Yeah, of
and
course.
I left her right by the station. It wasn't the nice way to do it. I did call her after, and
Yeah.
it's not nice, and I would not do that again, obviously.
Yeah, of course,
but
you've learned from it.
well, I fucking should have 100%.
Tell us,
Like,
hang on, tell us, Britt, what you got to say about it, girl?
Or,
I don't know. He's saying he's learnt from it, so.
no, go on.
imagine
Honestly,
you
you're wearing a
hadn't learned
femi.
from it. What would you
Just
say?
whatever you want to
No,
say.
I was just going to say it was awful. When
No,
I was
it
watching
is.
it was awful. Because I just know, like, that girl, she's never going to forget that.
Yeah,
ever.
well, it's character building. No, I'm joking.
No.
I'm joking.
She's damaged now.
Nah, she's not.
She probably
she's
thinks
not.
about that.
You know when I called her, do you know what I actually said? I was like, listen, this has got absolutely nothing to do with you. It's me. And the fact that I've not been able to be man enough to tell you. And I said that to her on the phone. She was like, I know it's not me. She's like, I know it's not me. And then that was it. The conversation done. So I called her after. Obviously, people watching the reels
Yeah, I
and the
didn't think
TikToks.
you called her after. I literally thought you just
No,
dashed
no,
and
no.
never spoke to her
Obviously,
again.
but that's like within the short clip that everyone's watching. Within that moment, obviously, we're not going to put that in. But I did call her and say, look, I've gone. I'm sorry. I didn't know how else to tell you. And she was like, how the fuck can you tell like you don't like someone after like a few minutes of meeting them? I was like, there was nothing there. I could just tell there was nothing there. Obviously, I lied a little bit because I wasn't attracted to her. And that's just kind of how I left it. But obviously, it wasn't the nice way to...
Did you not think that you might have got past the initial attraction of seeing her and
No,
see if you
because-
liked her first as a person?
No, because the problem was like she came round to staying to get chopped. Like she wasn't there for a drink. She was there to
okay.
she was there to ride the Turkish delight, and I wasn't on it.
she didn't protect her energy.
Okay,
which-
so she knew what it was
Yeah,
before. It
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
like a
like-
potential like...
Let's be honest. If you're going to meet a guy to stay at his house, you know what the crack is. Like 9 times out of 10, unless like a girl doesn't want to, fine, it happens. But like if you kind of spoke about it, then you know what's going to happen. So it's not like she didn't know what she was coming to do. But for me, obviously, I just bottled it. Didn't know how else to say it apart from just leaving her in Sainsbury's. Listen, I've changed. Next time I'll leave him in M&S.
You idiot. Thing is, though, I know girls that have gone out of dates and guys to a restaurant and they've got up and bolted.
Yeah.
They've got up midway through the dates and I'm going to the toilet and never come back.
But then the girls don't seem to get as
Of course they won't. Of
berated. Is that the word?
course they won't.
Like he did. Everyone went in on him. Girls have done that.
course.
Yeah.
I know
They
girls
don't
that have
get-
done
they
it.
I've done that.
I know girls that
Yeah,
have
of
done it.
course. But
go,
when
girl.
a girl does,
It's true. I touched on it the previous pod. There was a pod with Chloe Boris from Love Island about how she basically nicked someone's dog, and like the comments under it were just like, "Well done, like you go,
Yeah.
girl." Do you know what I mean? Just because
Yeah.
this guy had like done something or something, she'd like nicked the dog and like taken the dog.
oh,
in.
what from like her ex?
Yeah, and all
Oh.
the comments were like praising her. Say imagine if Oz had nicked the bird's dog. Imagine
You would get taken to the slaughterhouse,
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
yeah,
Yeah,
we
you
would
would.
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
finished. So double standards are
Yeah.
Yeah.
there.
But
yeah, I
that's
do
another
feel like
thing.
women get away with a lot.
Yeah,
don't
they definitely do. And that's another thing for me having 2 teenage sons. I never want them to be in a position where they've done something which they shouldn't have done, fair enough, but they're going to learn from it. But then all they're going to get on top of that is abuse. They're going to be hated because, as Ozzy said, he's learnt from it. Do you know what I mean? He felt bad. I feel like women at the moment tend to get away with a lot more.
I feel like this is kind of based down to the whole feminism movement, and
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
my next question leading on from this is
Yeah.
like, genuinely speaking, obviously, like Mason has said this before, we all have, like, it's great that obviously women there's equality now. There's not one law that, or
We're
one...
completely equal.
one-
in everything.
we're
You are
equal in
completely
every
equal.
single sense.
You are completely equal.
If anything, women have more rights in a certain way.
Yeah.
Fine, whatever. But what do you guys actually think of the whole feminism movement? And do you think it has changed from the first, like, within the first, like, area where it started to now? And kind of where it is at?
I think it's a bit more extreme now, isn't it? It's a bit like over the top, and I feel like people don't actually know what they're even fighting for anymore. They just do it
100%.
because everyone does it. It's a bit like
100%.
trendy, isn't it? Like I'm a feminist now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I don't
Yeah,
think
I
they know
think
what they're
that's
actually even fighting for anymore.
Yeah.
That sounds deep.
No,
it's
it's
true.
very
That's
deep.
what we want. That's
It
what we
is.
want.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think it's quite toxic. I think it's causing a divide. I think
Yeah.
feminism nowadays isn't doing anything good other than making men and women argue. And women who are not as I said earlier, I was apparently kicked out the vegan community for not being a feminist.
That's insane.
It's insane.
Yeah,
It is.
that's insane.
I don't have to have the same views as someone on every single topic. It's not going to happen. But I feel like the feminist movement has completely taken. I don't know. It's some mad movement now that's
Yeah.
just
Prejudice
extreme.
against men.
yeah.
Yeah,
feel like
that's exactly what it
I
is.
feel like
Yeah.
the movement
Yeah.
is prejudice against men.
It
It's
is.
like toxic femininity. Like
Yeah.
that's
Well,
literally what it is.
Feminism started out was just to get the same rights as us.
Yes.
Rightly so.
Yeah.
Fucking rightly so. That's how it started.
Yeah.
And now it's just gone
I don't know why. I've got to go work now.
Yeah.
Why did we fight for this?
That is
Go back.
actually a big. That's
Go
why
back.
it was
Thank you.
invented. That's
Yeah.
why it was invented.
So we
the
could
feminist
work, so
movement,
we could do all that stuff.
And
So
pay
I
money
don't wanna
back
do
into
it.
the government. That's
Yeah.
exactly why it was invented.
I feel like the whole movement is was started to be able, from the government anyway, to be
Yeah.
able to have more control over people, have more people to tax. I've obviously, this is me kind of regurgitating what I've heard and seen on pods, but
Yeah.
it's been spoken about where they're saying the whole movement was started because there was only one.
Sex
There was
working.
one sex to kind of tax, which was men, and obviously they wanted more people, so they started a movement, got women involved, gave them rights, equally rights. Great, because times were hard. It was very hard for women, but then it's been put to a point now where obviously now there's two genders. Well, if there is two genders,
Was it harder? Like Lisa said
Like-
just now, like Lisa
Well,
has to work
well-
and look after the kids
Yeah,
and
and
look
clean
after
my
the house.
house.
Like she has to do fucking everything, mate.
it's,
Whereas
it's
back then it was looking after the
Yeah.
kids. We went out grafted all day long. All right, looking after a household is not easy. Looking after the kids and that's fucking hard work. But
Yeah.
now Lisa's got to do that and she's got to work.
exactly. So feminism has almost spun like traditional role. So saying to a woman that, oh, you know what, if you stay at home and look after your kids and family, that's a bad thing. You're less than a man. Well, actually, if you think about it, if you look at like the West towards the East, like women are actually more happy there playing their gender roles. Where like a lot of women here, obviously they work, they make money, but a lot of them are not happy because
Yeah.
why? Because they're competing against men. They're becoming more masculine. Men don't want someone that's going
I
to
don't feel
challenge
like they're
them
doing what you're naturally meant to be doing.
Yeah.
Either.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at every species in the world, the mothers look after the kids.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's an instinct, but if humans
Yeah.
are, and we're moving away from what our human natural instincts are, and
Yeah.
like motherly internal instincts, and same as on the men's side of things as well, like not being as masculine, not being the man's man, and it's just getting cross-wired massively.
Yeah, it has got crosswired. Like, and we said men have become more feminine and women have become more masculine. It's almost kind of all just gone a bit tits up, a bit
Yeah, it
pear
really
shaped.
has.
What's your views on that, girls? In terms of, so we spoke about this quite a bit in terms of the masculine man in today's society. Like, just tell us what your views are in terms of what you think a man should be from like masculine trait side of things. Like, what should they exude?
Oh, that's a hard one.
It's quite tricky.
I wouldn't expect like my fella to go out and just, beat people up if they looked at me or I would not. I'd never want anything like that at all. But you do want a protector, really. I mean, I can handle myself, so it's fine. But you also want to know that if you're out, you are going to be looked after. You're not going to. It's scary out there. Like there are horrible people out there, so you want to know that you are going to be protected. But I get that's not in everyone's nature. Like I do get that. And not everyone's going to want to stand up for you. It's hard because everything's changed so much.
What do you look for in a guy though, in terms of masculine traits? Like, tell us.
Go on.
Go on, Britt.
What-
I don't know. I can't even think.
All right.
Apart from them, being a protector, I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
No, think about it. Really think about it. From when you think of an epitome of, can't get the fucking word out, of a man.
Yeah.
Right. What does that look like?
Pay my bills.
okay, now.
No, I'm joking.
Like,
I pay my
all
own.
the
I
traits
pay
that
my
a
own
man
bills.
does. Come on.
Yeah.
No, take it away from the work equation for a second. How a man is with a woman, in a relationship, as your lover, as your friend, as your provider. As a man, what in today's world, right, and in any age, like. You look at your granddads and your dad and things like that. Look at those real men back in the day, right? From what a masculine man and what those traits of a gentleman should be. What does that now look like in your head?
Well, apart from the working aspect.
Take the work aspect out of it.
Handy around the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
All right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a clue if I had a leak in my house. I wouldn't. I'd let the thing.
The fact
collapse.
that both of you can't answer that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's scary.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
It's a
fucking
good question.
scary, man.
It's a good
It
question.
is hard. It's hard though.
Right, so I'll say some things, and you'll
Yeah.
go, fucking hell, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
So not one of you said a man to open my car door. Not one of you said just a man to open my door. Not one of you said to take his jacket off and if you were cold and put it around you. Like these are things that a man should exude and do. If he'd pull your chair out for you in a restaurant and sit you down and pulls it out and puts your coat on for you as you leave, like that's what a man should be doing. And
But I
looking after
couldn't
his
think of
woman.
them things because that's just that's natural what Ruben's like anyway.
You should have said
thought
those things. though.
But he does do it, I promise. like-
Okay, fine. So okay, cool. So
He
now you
does.
know what I'm talking about
Yeah,
in terms
right.
of what a man
Yeah.
should be and look like.
Do you think that that's what they should do as well then? Because
Of course.
yeah,
Mm.
all right.
Fucking
You
right,
do
they
it,
should.
you do it for
Yeah.
the right woman, of course, 100%.
You girls couldn't even think of them off the top of your head.
Yeah,
And
I
it's such a
couldn't.
small thing as well. It doesn't cost anything. But it's
Nothing.
such
That's
a small
just
thing.
what a man
opening-
should
yeah.
be doing. The man, you should be walking on the inside of the curb when
Yeah.
you walk down the road, and the man walks on the outside. Like it's just those instincts that I feel men have lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really do think
Yeah.
they've lost them.
Yeah.
Big time.
It's
Not all
almost
massively.
No, obviously not
Yeah.
all men.
No.
it's almost as if though, like anything that a man does now is just deemed as like
Toxic, yeah.
as toxic. Like you're too masculine, you're too this. So again, it's just a case of like softening men up. So men don't do
Yeah.
do all of these stuff naturally anymore as well because
They feel embarrassed to do it, I think, sometimes.
There'll be
Yeah,
some
they do,
women
yeah.
out there. You'll
It's
open
like-
a car
it's-
door for her and she'll be like, what are you opening that for?
Yeah.
I can do it myself.
Yeah, like-
That's what it's like now.
You're deemed a
So
simp.
true. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's so true.
you're
So you're
deemed a
stuck.
simp. You're deemed a simp now
Yeah.
if that's the case. But like, well, I wanted to ask you both a question because you're both in relationships, but I forgot my word of thought now. You go and it'll come back to me.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, cheers. Oh, I'll just bring it back on the back to you in the studio.
I've gone blank.
So are you saying that men are simp if they do them things? Or
No.
they
No.
get scared they're going to be called a simp?
I think
Yeah.
even Alicia said, I think like the girl
Always come back.
might even turn around and be like, I can get my fucking car door. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not saying you can't open
Yeah.
your
I
car
just
door.
wanna do it for you.
I
Yeah.
just want to do it
Yeah.
for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, let me open that car door for you.
Yeah.
Let me grab your jacket and put it. I can put my jacket on.
But I think
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like women are becoming more masculine by doing that.
It's
Like,
weird. I think
before,
that's
like,
weird.
Yeah, I
I think
find
that's
it weird as
fucking
well.
weird.
Yeah.
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 You try and open the door, they're like, what the fuck you do? I can
Yeah,
open that.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
yeah.
whoa, chill out.
All right.
I almost had an argument with a girl on a date once because she was like, no, I'm paying. I don't need no man to pay for me. I was like, whoa, listen, I'm not doing this because you expect me to do it or that I have to. I'm just doing it because I want
Yeah.
to. I invited you out. Like, she's like, no, at least go hard with me or I'm not like doing this again. I was just thinking, fuck me, this shouldn't be that difficult.
Yeah,
don't,
yeah.
don't compete with me. I just said, look, next time if we do go out, which we didn't, I was like, you can pay for it. Sweet, no problem. But I've said this before anyway, like on a date, I would naturally want to pay for someone, but I would only want to do that for someone knowing that they don't expect me to do it and I have to do it. Otherwise, it's almost just saying I need to pay for your time. But I like it when a woman offers to me as well.
Yeah.
And genuinely means it. And one thing I don't like is when a woman says, do you want to go halves? Like, you mad?
yeah, no.
You think I'm going to go halves with you? At least offer to pay for it, which I'll say no to,
Yeah.
or don't.
Yeah.
Like, don't sit there and lie and go, do you want to go dip? Like,
afterwards?
we're not going to go halves on
Yeah.
it. Like, all
It's
these
kind of
women-
an
Do you want to
insult.
go? It is an insult.
kind of an
Do you want to go
insult, yeah.
fucking halves? Are you fucking mad?
Do
No,
you
I
think?
don't.
I don't think it's an insult.
It is,
bro.
bro. Yeah, but bro, you need to understand.
I just think they're just being nice.
No, they're
like-
not. No, they're not because they're
Why?
thinking, please don't say yes, please don't say yes, please don't say yes.
Shouting.
Sorry, bro. But it's true though, bro.
I just don't care. Like, it always happens. They're always like, "Do you want to go halves?" And I'm like,
Yeah, if she
nah.
offers to pay, you go, can I go in with you, sort of thing. I get it. I know what you're saying. But if she starts going too much the other way, no, whoa, no, you've offered. I've said no.
Yeah.
Now drop it.
Yeah.
I'm
Do you know
just
what I mean?
very observant, and I think when I see certain little things, I'm like, yeah, like you think you're not better than me, but essentially that is kind of what you're saying. Without you might not even know it. But if you're saying to me, I have to do this, otherwise, some women say like, if he doesn't pay, if you don't take me here or there, I ain't going. Which is why I think I need to suss out the person. If I'm taking them out, I want to suss them out if they're good enough to be taken out.
All right, girls, give your opinion on that then, in terms of when a guy does take you out, rather than listening to our opinion.
What, like first dates and stuff?
First dates, things like that. Like, what in your head? We won't put words in your mouth. Obviously, this is why we want to bring our female friends on to hear, like, in all honesty, like, what's your views in terms of if you were both single and a guy was offering to take you out, like, what's a good first date? What's a bad first date? Like, who pays? Who doesn't? Like, what's your opinion? Genuinely.
Man's got to pay on a first date.
Whole thing.
I'd offer.
Okay.
I would offer to go half 50-50. I would offer always. You're like, oh yeah, should I get it? But they're gonna get it.
Okay,
And
cool.
if he didn't get it on a first date, it would make me cringe. I don't know if it sounds bad or
I
not.
think that's a red flag as a man if you're not.
What's that?
Really? What
If you're not paying for the first date, I think that's a bit.
Oh, as in
I think
Yeah,
that's-
yeah,
If a man's
It
asked
is.
you out on a date,
You've asked me on the
yeah,
date.
like
I think it's a bit odd, you know.
What about when
Yeah.
girls say, when are you taking me out then? And then like kind of throw that in
You
there.
don't.
yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Agreed.
What
Yeah.
do you mean? What do you
Yeah.
mean? When
I
you
mean, there's
take-
some girls do that.
Girls
Like,
do
you
all the
don't- I
time,
don't ask girls all the time. They're like, so when you taking me out then? Or like, when are
Yeah.
you taking me here or there? or like what you're gonna put. I've
That's it. After that,
spoke
that's
to her,
it.
she's like
After
your
that,
best
that's it.
plan.
It
of,
It depends
like,
what the
first date.
relationship is.
But that's what I'm saying. Like how well do you actually know people nowadays when you're speaking online, which is, again, we've said it's like a very massive way to meet people. How well do you actually know someone off the back of a few DMs? You've not even heard their voice yet.
Yeah.
And they're saying, where are you taking me or what are we doing?
If it's that soon, then yeah, like
But
maybe.
that's what it is
yeah.
nowadays.
They're just trying to get a free meal.
Yeah, I hope
Fuck
that
that.
never happens. It will happen to my teenage sons when they grow up, but I hope that they never, or I hope that they don't bow down to that.
They're going to be heartbreakers.
What morals and stuff are you installing into your boys? How old are they?
They're 14 and 15.
Okay, so what morals as their mum are you installing in them?
Do you know what? It's really, I'll be honest with you, it is so hard at the moment because at the moment, with all of this stuff that's going on with the feminism stuff and everything, especially in school, boys are almost being taught, girls are right, you're wrong, they can be horrible to you, you can't be horrible back. Yeah. I get it in some sense, but it's almost gone a little bit too far now to the point where I'm actually worried for when my sons do go out and date. I am worried because I think they might be taken advantage of. And women are going to go, oh, like, we don't take advantage of men. They do.
Of course they do.
They do all the time. But men just are not allowed to talk about it. So, and I think as a teenage boy growing up, that's going to affect your confidence quite a lot. If you know that you've gone on a date with a woman, she's absolutely like taken the mick out of you and she's made you feel a certain type of way. How crap is that going to make you feel as you're growing up? Like it's hard for, obviously I look at things from a teenage boy mum. I don't ever want them to be upset. I don't ever think to myself, maybe I'm wrong for this, but I don't ever think to myself, oh, I hope they don't go out and hurt a girl. I think I hope no girl ever hurts them.
But you know what it is like. You can kind of tell them whatever you want to tell them. You can try and teach them whatever you want to teach them, but without them actually going to like do it, they're not going to learn.
Yeah.
And like all three of us lads probably learned most of our lessons like during dating by just dating and sussing people out and reading people. You just get better and better at it. Like nothing that my mum or dad or like anyone online taught me about dating really helped me.
Yeah.
It was just me constantly just battering dates.
I mean, I also hope they don't do that.
Mate, I've become single like 2 years ago. That summer I must have gone on like 65 dates, mate.
Wow.
Mad.
This guy's just self-snitches, isn't it?
It was a
65 days.
Surely they was going
Hard.
half though, because how do you pay for 65?
You should have seen my fucking bank balance after.
Do you know why I'm so impressed with that? It's because this guy won't go for anything that is either like small blonde with like blue eyes. So the fact that you found 65 dates to go on with that many women is pretty
The whole
impressive.
area's been cleared. There's no one left.
There's nothing left. Oh my
reach out.
goodness.
But I like, going back to it, like they will just learn, and like as they get older, they will just kind of just like they'll consciously make their own decisions about it. So like, I don't think I'd worry because I can see where you're coming from. Like, if I was a parent without knowing kind of what I've been through, I would probably be worried. But like as a boy, because I know I've grown up to like become a man, I'm just like, say if I had a son, I don't think I'd be as worried anymore.
Do you think you'd be more worried having a daughter?
Yes, I'd be terrified.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, because I know what boys are like.
Yeah, we've grown up, who I grew up around, and yes, I know exactly what goes on and what they're like. So yes, I'd be terrified of having a daughter.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrified.
I haven't even thought about that.
I would never want a daughter. I'm a boy mum. I love being a boy mum.
Yeah, I'd be terrified if I had a
Yeah.
daughter. Not because of any other reason apart from I know what fucking scum are out there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, listen, okay, look, guys like us, we're not actually bad people. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, okay, we do our own thing and whatever, but we're not actually bad people.
Yeah.
Silly mistakes like that is dropping CD and going insane. But he hasn't harmed her. He hasn't done anything wrong to her. He may have done a wrong thing in a situation, but like that's as far as bad as it goes.
Yeah,
There are some real fucking evil people out there.
Yeah.
Some
There
real
is.
evil, horrible guys out there that get girls into really bad situations.
Yeah.
Really
Mentally and physically,
yeah,
bro.
Proper
Narcissistic
but and the other way
people.
around, like listen, there's a lot of women out there that abuse men,
Oh,
mate, and have in
100%.
abusive
Yeah.
relationships. Like, but I can probably put our hands up and say, yeah, it is definitely more the other way,
Yeah.
100%.
without a doubt, right? But so yeah, that's the reason why I would be, because I know what people are like.
Yeah.
You got to worry about the safety of your daughter all the time.
100%. A man can defend
It's
himself.
like
do you know
small
what I mean?
things as well, like being like sexually assaulted, whether that be like your ass being slapped or like you being touched
Yeah.
inappropriately. Like I'm sure it must have happened to
Yeah,
you
yeah,
too
of
at some
course,
point.
yeah.
But like if you ask me that question, no one slapped my ass randomly. Do you know what I mean? Like,
That's it,
no
yeah.
one's tried to like
yeah.
no, well, like it don't count if it's you. Innit? But, like, no one's tried to like I don't know grab me in the club and
Yeah,
like
that's it,
kiss me.
yeah.
But,
But
like,
that happen, that's normal for
It's
girls.
just
Like, it's not
normal. It is
normal,
so
but
normal,
it's
yeah.
normal, and you experience it from like so young. It just happens so
Yeah.
young.
that's
Yeah, I think
fucked
that's
up,
weird.
innit?
Yes, I think that's wrong.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be terrified of. Like,
Yeah.
fucking terrified.
Me
Yes.
and Ruben's friends were talking the other day, and there was just was literally just talking about the night out, and I was like, yeah, and then we just ran home, and I was thinking, imagine just being able to walk home on your own. They're drunk, they've been out all night, it's late, it's dark, and they don't have to think about anything. They're just walking home. You'd never be able to do that as a girl, would you? I never would even think.
You couldn't
I didn't even think about
home
that.
from school. We used to get followed home from school.
From early on from school
You used to have
days,
to
stuff
hide
like
in
that
the,
used to
local, the
happen.
little local shop or hide in the phone box because there'd be a weird man following us home. It's normal. It become normal. That's how bad it is. And that's not me.
Bad, isn't it?
That's not me like thinking, oh, I'm a victim. I'm not a victim.
No. It's just
That's
reality. It's
reality,
just reality.
yeah.
It's
That's what
literally
it
just
is.
reality.
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
That is why I'd be
It's
terrified.
unfortunate that's the case, but do you reckon this is more within the West than rather than other parts of the world?
I think
or
it's the whole
do you
world.
I think it
reckon it's the whole
happens
thing?
everywhere.
Yeah, I think it's
Absolutely
the whole world. No
everywhere.
matter how
Yeah.
strict some of them values may be in
To
the
be
East,
fair,
you're still going to get them fucking horrible, nasty, noncy men.
I suppose the equivalent to that for a guy is obviously just getting robbed and done for certain things, because that's what usually what happens. Men obviously.
The worst case can happen, you're going to get beaten up and mugged. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's just the worst thing.
So much more can happen to a woman.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
That's probably a lot easier to happen to a woman as well.
Of course it is. You're a lot more vulnerable than we are.
Think of seeing like a drunk woman just walking down the road. She's like got next to nothing on. She's been out. How vulnerable she is. And then a guy just walking down the road. You wouldn't even think about the guy. You'd drive
so
past and think
true,
it's just a
yeah.
geezer, but you'd see a girl like, oh my god, is she alright? Like, what's she doing on her own?
Yeah.
But you wouldn't think like that for a guy, would you?
There's a lot of like what's it called when they do a fake scenario and they see
Social experiment.
social experiment. Like, there's a lot of them where you see like women pretending to be drunk, and the amount of
Men
men
that
that will come up to them and say stuff, which is scary because
Yeah.
I've got a sister, I've got a mother, and I always think, God, like, what if
Mum
something
would
happened?
knock him out if anyone.
My mum would punch him up,
Mum would
100%.
absolutely ruin him.
Yeah, she probably would, to be fair. But obviously, my sister,
Yeah,
like,
of
she's
course. Yeah,
like,
it's scary.
she goes out, obviously has fun, which rightfully she should do, not have to worry about stuff. But even like, for example, yesterday, we got home and I'd done like a 2-drop on the Uber, and she was like kind of half asleep. I was like, Fid, wake up, be alert, make sure you know where you're going. So like, it's you just, as a woman, I think you do need to be careful because there are some sick people out there that will take advantage of any given opportunity.
I think men need to check their friends as well. So if you was to see your friend doing something that was inappropriate,
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of, but I don't feel.
They don't call their mates out.
They
when they're doing it.
don't.
They
I
turn a
feel like
blind
a
eye.
lot of blokes don't call out their bloke mates and say, "What are you doing?"
They're as shit as their mates then as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the same.
Yeah.
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 Like all of us will fuck about, but like if anyone was doing anything like was seriously just stupid,
You get checked,
we'd be-
yeah.
everyone would get checked.
Yeah, of
Bro, that's
course.
enough.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
you know what I mean? Like,
I've
not
got a
even
lot of guy mates that never ever like. They're all quite similar to Oz, and they might mess around and whatnot, but they'd never actually be
Yeah.
openly
Harmful.
nasty or abusive to
Never.
someone. Never. They wouldn't dream of it. I wouldn't be friends with them if they were. Like, my guy mates are as important to me in my life as my female friends
Yeah.
are, and they're just as nice to me as my female friends are. Like, they would never dream of it. But I feel like I have seen groups of boys that tend to be quite similar, that are they all act the same, and they're not calling each other out because they've all got the same.
Mentality.
Mentality,
Yeah, of course,
yeah.
that's why they're friends.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Talking about like of obviously going out and stuff, like just a quick question, you're both in relationships. If your man came to you and said, I don't want you wearing that, or I don't want you to go out today, and you don't understand, but it's like, you know, I just don't want you to go there. It's not a nice environment. It's a bit of a rough area. I don't want you going. Would you listen or would you not?
No,
You wouldn't.
No.
You'd still go out.
I'm going. He can come with me if he wants.
Yeah.
If that makes him feel better.
Yeah.
But I'm going. Why?
What if he's just like said, I don't want you to be wearing that? I just think that's a bit too revealing. I feel like it might just
I'd say
get the
why. Why do you
because
feel like
because
that?
it might like it might attract the wrong person. Like I just
That I
think
get. That could be an issue.
which is the
Yeah.
case. Like if I see someone with their fruits out, I'm gonna have a little cheeky look. Like God gave me eyes. I'm gonna have a little look. I mean, like you've obviously won that for attention. You don't do it for yourself or for other women. Let's be honest. Like most of the time, women go out and they look in a certain way. It is for the attention of other people, whether they're in a relationship or not. It is for them. It's not just for themselves. It's for attention. So if I were to say to my woman, look, that's just too revealing, please can you just like kind of not wear something else, I would expect her to even if she doesn't like fully agree with it,
Yeah.
I would expect her to say, do you know what, I respect you enough as a man, as my man, to not do that to hurt you, because you know your opinion matters to me. That's what that would say to me.
I kind of agree with that.
Go on, Prick.
I just don't get it.
At all.
Okay, what don't you get?
I just don't feel like the way you're dressing is going to affect how you are like, when you're out.
So
Myself. Like you're worrying about other people, not your actual partner.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like,
That is-
yeah,
that
but
is-
you
You're
have
not
to.
worrying
that
about
is
what
true.
your partner's doing. You're worrying
Yeah.
about her environment and who she's around. But
Yeah, 100%.
just, you can't think about every environment and try like, you don't like, imagine you're scared of flying, you would never go on a plane. If you're trying to prevent stuff from happening, do you know what I mean? Like drowning, you wouldn't go on a boat. Like you can't prevent
All
stuff
right,
from happening
fine.
all the time.
But obviously, there's one extremes to another. You just said yourself how difficult it is for a woman to go out and not get harassed and not get hit on, not since a young age. So as a man, we know like certain environments you go into, you're putting yourself at risk. We're not saying don't ever go out. I would never say to a woman, you're not allowed to go out with your friends. Of course you can, but in moderation. If you're in a relationship, naturally, I think you shouldn't want to go out that much anyway. But if you're trying to go out every weekend and you're literally putting yourself in that situation, I know you're going to have 1-2 tequilas and put yourself in that situation. And just one night, I'm just thinking, you know what, you're going to the wrong area. That place isn't safe. Would you not respect your man enough to go, do you know what, you're actually making sense here, I'm not going to do it?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like some areas obviously a bit more vulnerable than others, and going out all the time. I obviously don't do that, but just in regards to like the stuff that you're wearing, I don't think it's going to change. Like I said, you can get harassed in your school uniform walking home from school, so you can't prevent it happening where
That's
you are
different.
anywhere. So it's like, it's going to happen.
Do you not necessarily feel that, and this works both ways for men and women when they're out, obviously when you are with somebody, you are also representing that other person,
Yeah.
right? So the
In
way you act,
in the way you
that's it.
act.
And in the way you dress.
100%.
Men can't dress provocatively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't dress provocatively. We can't do it, right? You wear a t-shirt, a shirt, jumper, jeans.
Yeah.
You don't walk around half naked. It just doesn't. A guy can't dress like that. The way he acts, in terms of the way he's flirting with women or the way he's acting and holding himself on a night out, that's how he's then represented. Because if you're with someone, disregard the past they've got and who they were beforehand, whatever. They're now with that individual. If they're now still going out and still fucking touching up women and flirting up other women, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Now you're a scumbag because
Yeah.
you're with
Yeah.
you've got a woman. All right, you might have been whatever in the past. You've got a woman now and you're still playing like that. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
As a woman, it's the other way around. You don't go out. Well, you can go out and flirt, obviously, and what have you. But so you're going to be looking at that as well. But the way that a woman can dress can also look like fucking hell. And we're just telling you from a guy's
100%.
perspective here,
Yeah.
right? Is that you can have a guy and other guys will see you out, whether they know that boy or not. They go, fucking, I swear she's going out
Yeah.
the thingy, and she's coming out like, yeah, look at the way she. I'm just telling you, that's how other people can perceive it. And
I just find that wild though.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm just saying like
Well,
that's,
like, oh my god, she's got a boyfriend over there. Why is she wearing that?
yeah, I'm just saying that's
Can I
how
say
other guys
something?
will look at it.
You're with someone, right? So before you get with this guy, you obviously kind of sussed him out and said he needs to have this, right? So that's your preference. You wanted him to be taller than you. You wanted him to potentially make more money than you, look after you maybe one day in the future. Maybe you want to be a housewife, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You want him to do X, Y, Z to you. He needs to be funny, charismatic, all of this stuff. That's your preference.
Yeah.
This is one of our preferences. We don't want a woman that's going to always just do whatever we don't want a woman that's just always going to do what she wants to do, in the respect that she only wants a traditional man where it benefits her. If you want him to do all of this stuff to you, which a masculine man would do, then you need to understand that a man is going to have a certain expectation from you to not do X, Y, Z, which is one of these things.
Yeah.
I think it's just a very simple term of like a woman respecting your
It's a
opinion.
respect thing, yeah.
That's what I think.
I actually do agree with that.
And it's vice versa. If my woman said to me, do you know what, like, I don't want you to do this or that, I would ask why. But then I'll think, do you know what, I'm going to do this for you because I care about us and our relationship. So I think that's just kind of where my head's at. It needs to be a good balance of it. It's
Yeah.
not just, I'm not just saying this against women, by the way. It's men as well.
Yeah.
We need to listen to our women more. Obviously, women have like a sixth sense for some reason. Like they see shit happen before it does. So we need to listen to them too.
Yeah. I get that's your preference. I guess
It's a lot of men's preference.
a lot of men's preferences.
We-
Ruben's alright though.
No, that's fine. But
It's working for me. And what I think I struggle with as well, like you're probably all older than me, aren't you?
yeah.
Yeah. I'm quite young as well. And it's like, I do want to be in a relationship and stay with him and I want to end up with him. I want to marry him, have kids, but I still need to live my life now.
What is that?
So it's-
Okay,
Yeah.
elaborate on that. For me.
I want to wear what I want and go where I want and do all that stuff.
I was exactly like that at your age.
But I want to be with him at the same time.
Yeah.
So if we can do that at the same time and he does what he wants and he goes on his holidays, I do my stuff, we're like doing our 20s together.
Yeah, I get
but then
it.
we can still be together.
I don't think it's wrong. Yeah.
Unless it doesn't work,
Yeah.
and then we can come back here and talk in like 20 years. But
listen.
I'm planning on being with him until I'm old.
Yeah.
So, but I've still got to do me at the same time.
That's absolutely fine. I think like just because like let's just say I'm in a relationship, if it works for me this way, it doesn't mean it has to work for you that way. But when you generally when you generalize and look at everyone as a whole, I think more or less like most guys would think in this way. No one wants a woman that goes out all the time. and
But
dresses,
vice
dresses-
versa.
and
Vice
vice versa.
versa,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Vice
But I
versa.
think
That's what
men
I
have
mean.
to assess the situation before it happens more than women do. So
What do you mean?
So you might think, oh, I do like this girl, but I've seen now she goes out. She likes to party and whatnot. She likes to wear this particular type of clothing. Am I going to get myself into a lot of ag if I was to start dating her? So men have to preempt it a lot more than women do, whereas we don't.
Well, how do you look at it when a guy goes out all the time? What's that perception look like for women?
He's out to pool. He's out,
Yeah,
he's
or-
out for girls.
That's all you think of.
No, he's out for fun.
Yeah.
He's obviously young, like whatever you're doing like whatever with your boys, having fun. But guys, I feel all of speaking to like Ruben's guy friends, they're out because they want girls.
Okay.
That's their main objective. Like, can we pool
Yeah.
tonight?
Okay.
Hang on, Alicia.
Go on.
Hang on.
No,
Yeah, I
go
do.
on.
I do kind of agree with that. I don't think it depends on the group as a whole. I would honestly say it depends on the group.
The type of guys it is.
Yeah.
What type of guys it is?
If one
Some
of you
guys
is
are
out
like
on the
that.
pool, the rest of you are out on the pool.
So that's what I was going to lead on to saying. So
That's not true, but-
Ruben is your fella's name, right?
Yeah.
So Ruben's friends are all out on the pool. So if Ruben goes out with his friends and they're getting a table, and obviously naturally there's going to be girls coming onto their table
it
because his mates.
happens, it happens
Do you
all the
care
time.
about stuff like that?
No.
No, you shouldn't care about stuff.
I'm just saying, does
I
she?
don't
Because
care.
some people don't like that.
Oh,
John.
Yeah.
I would be bothered by
You
it.
would be bothered.
I
Why?
wouldn't be bothered.
I would be bothered if my fella went out and spent money on another girl that evening.
Yeah, I can
Whoa,
understand
whoa,
that. I
whoa,
can
whoa.
understand.
Well, if he's buying drinks, if he's got a table and girls that I don't know are taking, nah.
Yeah, but hang on.
No.
Hang on. When the guys go out and get a table, right? So in our friendship group, right, there's a lot of us, and there's quite a few that have got girlfriends and been with them for a long time. If we go and get a table, we've not gone out and arranged for those girls to come on our table and drink our fucking drink. Like while we're out,
Yeah,
that
but
table.
you need to say no.
That booth is our booth. Yeah,
Yeah.
that table's for us boys. If then later on during the night, some of the boys are chatting up some birds and all of a sudden they're bringing them on the table,
It is what it
everyone's
is.
put their own 10 pence in. So it don't matter if the boy then said the boys wouldn't anyway, but the boys are going to get them some drinks. But they haven't gone out of the intention to meet these girls and go, we've got a table, come join us. This is our fucking table. While we've been out, the boys have obviously been chirping up some girls and they've gone, oh yeah, come and have a sit down and have a drink. Like they've not gone out of the intention to buy that bottle to give to girls. That is absolutely not what the guys are doing.
Yeah.
Some boys will
Agreed.
absolutely do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But most of the time, if the boys say, do you want to just get a table? Like we were offered a table on Sunday. You have your own area, give 5 bottles, and no, fuck that. Like, what's the point? We just sit there, just
Yeah.
us chatting away. Do you
Yeah.
want to get up and have a dance and mingle and meet new people? But even if we did, we wouldn't have then just gone, yeah, go, just sit down and help yourself to fucking all my mates drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
But there probably are some guys that would.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
There
There
are.
probably
yeah,
are
of
some
course.
guys
that for me
like
would
that.
be that would be an issue. That would really be and if my fella went and spent money on the strippers.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
obviously.
That's
That's
a whole new ball.
That's a
game.
big no.
I
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
that is a big deal for me. If you're single, go to the strippers. If you go as a
couple, yeah.
go fine. If you're spending money together, that's absolutely fine. But
Yeah.
if I had a partner that went and spent money on the strippers,
Yeah.
Okay, so what about if your man's going on one of his best mate stag do's and we've arranged that we're going to go to a strip club later on, you guys there, he's like, babe, what's he going to do? Fuck off home while everyone goes.
It's not
Go to
good.
the strip club. No, this is
Yeah.
a genuine question.
No,
Guys.
it's
Like, this will lead on to the next question I've got. That if the guys are on stag do's, I'm going to have dozens of stag do's coming up in the next 10 years of my life. And
Yeah.
I hope by then I've
You're
got,
getting to that
I've
age,
got
aren't
my
you?
life
Yeah.
partner. We are getting to that age. I've got my life partner by then.
Yeah.
And without a shadow of a doubt, most of them stag do's will end up in some form of strip club, I imagine, for the end of the night. It's just,
It's gonna
it's
happen.
almost like tradition to go there.
And vice versa.
Hang on,
It's going to be
what's
Magic
your-
Mike. No, I'm going to say it's vice versa. It's Magic
Yeah,
Mike
okay,
shows
yeah,
for women as
100%.
well.
what woman actually likes that though? Do you? Would
It's
you,
more cringy, isn't it?
It is-
It's more cringe.
It would make me feel sick, honestly. Like I don't understand the.
Yeah. With this,
But
with
what's
the
your thoughts
stag
on what's your
do's and
thoughts on that, on the
stuff,
stag do's and things like that?
it's the same thing as like now in your early 20s, like you're going out, you're going to festivals and holidays, you're living your life, and then you move to a next part. You still want to experience that. So I just don't see an issue with it. I don't know if I'm just too chilled, but I wouldn't
I
care.
think
Like
it's a bad thing. No, I don't think
it's
it's a bad
it's a stag do, and my thing is I trust Ruben fully. Like I don't
Yeah.
care. I know
This
what
is
type
it,
of guy
yeah.
he is. He's not that type of guy at all. So it's like I don't care what environment he's like in. It's because I know what he's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
go to your stags, go
Yeah.
on your
But
boys'
what about
holidays.
if you were
'cause I
spending
trust
loads
you.
of money?
That's all right. Leave me a wedge before you go and have fun, mate.
That's so funny.
Yeah, maybe I need to be a little bit more relaxed, but that would bother me.
Would it?
A stag do.
What
not so
about
much.
it is bothering? I'm intrigued to know how women's work. I'm trying to figure out a woman's
I
mind.
don't know
here.
because I'm going to seem really out of order by saying this, but my partner spending money on another woman, paying her wages basically.
Okay, I see what
That
you're
would bother me. That would bother me. I know how strippers work as well. Like I know that they don't. they might do a dance or whatever for a man. They don't like that bloke. They ain't got any.
Yeah, of course.
They
Yeah,
just
yeah.
want to rinse him, and I wouldn't want my partner getting rinsed by another woman.
That very specific scenario.
Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
That's quite
What about, yeah, what about okay, it's a good question. I think everyone loves to know about this in terms of going on girls and guys holidays when you're in a relationship. Floor's yours.
She's going
know-
through this right now.
As long as you're both able to do it, I don't see a problem
Yeah,
with
okay,
it.
cool.
I want to be able to go on girls' holidays
Yeah, I agree.
just as much as my partner would want to be able to go on boys' holidays. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I do, but I don't think you should take the mick with it. I don't think you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what does that mean?
Like you can't be doing it all the time. Like
Oh, God, yeah.
there needs to be a balance. Like you need to have a family holiday as well.
Yeah.
You can't just go away for days on it, or like last minute things when there's no preparation. Like we need to have time to like
Yeah.
get used to the idea of. Do you know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah, I
prepare
agree.
yourself, because if
Balance.
it's just sprung on you last minute, you're going to be thinking, "Oh, that's a bit strange."
Yeah.
Don't know about that one.
No, it is. It's about balance. Me and
Yeah.
Ruben, I'll go to this is actually happening like in the next couple of months. I'm going to go to Marbella. He's going to go to Ibiza, and then we're going to go Mykonos together. Happy
Yeah,
days.
nice.
Lovely,
Have fun
yeah,
with your boys. I'll have fun with my girls, and we'll have a vacation after.
Yeah.
Just balance.
Yeah, it definitely. But I think that's with everything though. There always needs to be a balance. Holidays, going out.
And just not take the piss.
I think it
Yeah.
boils down to a lot of trust, yeah?
It
Like,
is.
it boils down to a lot of trust in terms of like, and people get too harped up on the thing of chasing that individual to be like, oh my god, she's going to cheat on me. Mate, she's going to cheat on you. She's going to
gonna
cheat
cheat
on you
100%.
with Bobby Dan fucking Dan the
Literally.
local. Yeah,
Yeah.
It ain't going to just happen because she's
In that
3,000 miles
environment.
away in that environment.
No.
Like, if that person's going to cheat,
They're
they're
gonna
going to
cheat,
cheat
yeah.
on you.
I
Like,
went on
it's
holiday
as simple as that.
and came back. So a few years ago, it was like 4 years ago, I went on holiday with girls' holiday, and he was worried about me cheating. And I came back, and he cheated on me in England. I got cheated on.
Previous part.
Not Ruben, sorry.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
not
yeah.
Ruben.
I say Ruby boy, what you doing?
Yeah,
Naughty,
I love
naughty.
you,
No, I didn't know.
You're teasing her. Oh,
Not Ruben. My ex, I went on holiday, and I even one night on the I must have been about 19, and it was the last day, and all the girls were specifically going to this guy's apartment because they'd met guys. They were all single girls. Well, one of them wasn't, and they was going to the apartment for them guys. I didn't feel comfortable going. I knew he wouldn't be comfortable
Yeah.
with me going, so I made the executive. I'm not even going out. I'm on holiday. I'm 19. I stayed indoors
Wow.
on
fucking
this
hell.
holiday,
Wow.
watching movies on my laptop, and I come back and he cheated on me in Maidstone.
fucking hell.
So
Wow,
it doesn't
I
matter.
like it now.
It doesn't matter where you're going or
Yeah.
who you're
True,
with,
yeah.
or that's why I struggle like with your environment and what you're
it
wearing.
does a little bit. I know what you're saying. I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
But on holiday, it is obviously everyone's drinking, everyone's
Everyone's
in minimal-
hot and
it's-
happy,
It's a
yeah.
bit different, but just adding on to everything you're saying, like before, back in the day when I was with my ex, it used to bother me the thought of like her going out and speaking to people. But now I just think you're gonna have encounters. Yeah, like
course.
we used to have this like weird thing where she was like, I don't want you talking to anyone, and naturally you're like, I don't want you to talk to anyone.
God,
Yeah.
So like I think
Fucking hell.
now I look back in hindsight, like I think fuck that was not the right way to look at it. So I think my woman can go out and someone can approach her sweet. It's up to her to police that shit, police her own shit, to put this guy in his place and know exactly what her intentions are, what he can get away with. Then she can fuck off and like enjoy the rest of her night.
that's
So
it, yeah.
I don't like, for example, a lot of women ask me, well, what would you do if a man approached me? I'd be like, I wouldn't say anything. I would expect you to put him in his place
Yeah, of
anyway.
course.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go over there like rowing or
Yeah.
arguing unless he's doing something to.
That's too
Yeah,
pushy.
exactly.
Yeah.
But you almost expect your man or your woman to kind of put these people in their place, and that way,
Yeah.
you're not going to mind them going out. You're not going to mind them going on holiday. But it depends on the
True.
person.
People will be loyal as well. Like IB for me and you, when we went to speak to them two girls, both had boyfriends.
Yeah,
Both were very open about it. We had a good chat with them, just left them to it.
Yeah.
And it was as simple as that.
Yeah.
Like nothing more. Sweet people.
still tried though.
Still, yeah, this is what I mean.
I was
though,
like,
still try.
let me put my graph boots on. So, you come here often? No, even her mate was saying like you're holding it down with her quite well, but like it was just a nice conversation, and then we done one. But yeah, they made it like they said it straight to the point. Like we've got boyfriends, but that's okay. Like I'm okay to just have a nice little conversation
Yeah.
with you as well. It doesn't have to always end up with you sitting on my face in the evening. Like it's
No,
cool.
of course not. Of course, like that's how friendships. I've made loads of my friendships from being out. Like obviously, I met Ozzy when
Just
I was
saying,
out.
innit?
Like we become friends. There was nothing. There was never anything like that. So it's just it boils down to you as an individual.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whether or not you're craving that sort of attention and you're going to go out and flirt, or whether or not you just like going out and meeting people, making friends because you're a sociable person. Like I don't look at my male friends any different than I look at my female friends. I never have done. I never will do. So it just depends on how you see things and how you're feeling.
That's what I said to the boys last time. I think it just comes down to your own. You need to be able to control your urges, man. Like, yeah, okay, you might have attractive female friends and you're going to have attractive male friends. It doesn't always mean that you got people go, oh, if you was put into that scenario in that circumstance, like, but that's once in a million that them circumstances even arise. And even then, you can still be able to go, yeah, could we bang right now? Probably. Should we?
Yeah.
No, it's not worth it.
Point,
do you know what I mean? It just ain't worth it. Do you know what I mean?
But that's the thing, though.
It's just going to tarnish it. So
Yeah,
fuck that.
I agree, but I think 9 times out of 10 someone would. But that's why, like, even when we was creating hypothetical scenarios, and I don't realise, like, there's no fucking way you could put me in any situation with her, and I just know it wouldn't happen because A, she's just another person to me as like I see my male friends. And apart from that, it's just like I wouldn't want to ever fucking ruin something. I'm not going to go shag one of you lot. You don't need to ruin what you have. Do you know what I mean? And like I said this before, Tom's quite a protective person as well, and I don't think he would like the idea of you having loads of male friends either. But like with me, he knows exactly what I'm like. We go out just us three. So
yeah, or like me and Oz can still go out just me and him. But don't forget, I had my male friends before I had my relationship.
Yeah.
So what I found that I had to do was straight away from the beginning talk about Oz the same way I talk about my female friends. There was there's never going to be an issue. I'm never going to keep him hidden. I'm never going to keep my other guy mates hidden. I wouldn't need to, because if I started doing that, that's me acting sly.
There's a problem.
Yeah. So I've always been like upfront. I think one time when I first met my partner, like me and Oz went out for a drink, and I didn't lie. I was like, I'm just going out with my mate Ozzy. To me, that was just normal. Like I had no reason to lie whatsoever. There's nothing
No cloak and
malicious.
dagger. Yeah, that's it.
Nothing at all. So if you're straight up from the beginning,
Yeah, I agree.
and you haven't got to, because I get it, like a man who's got a girlfriend who has got lots of male friends, he might have an issue with it. But if he's been made to feel there's 100% nothing there, he can come out as well, like make them comfortable. There shouldn't be an issue with it.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. But I think just most people struggle to communicate.
Yeah.
I think that's quite a rare situation.
Yeah.
Though. I don't think a lot of people would probably be able to experience that personally.
it's just a bit of a weird time, though, isn't it? It's difficult, I think.
It's a shame because I'm so grateful for my male friendships. I've learnt so much from them.
Yeah.
I've even learnt from this dickhead. But I feel like those people who don't have mixed friendship groups, you're missing out. You're absolutely missing out on life and experiences and even advice. You are genuinely missing out because you cannot. For me, why would you just want to be surrounded by the same sex? And I wouldn't want to be surrounded by girls all the time. It'd do my head in. I've learned a lot from my guy mates. You know.
I agree.
So
we were talking about that the last time. We were saying that, like, what do you get? What does each sex get from that friendship?
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you've got like no sisters or no female cousins and stuff like that, and I needed a bit of female advice, I could reach out to Brit or one of the girls and
Yeah,
go,
of
look,
course.
what the fuck do I say to her in that situation? Like,
Yeah.
how do I respond to that? Like, am I being too passive aggressive? Am I being too, like, what's going on? And then she gives me her opinion. Go, mate, you need to back off, or like, don't say this.
it's
don't.
needed.
Do you
It's
know what I
so
mean?
needed. It's
Have
so
I not done that
important.
with
Yeah,
you?
I agree.
Like in certain situations,
Yeah,
I
of
said, at least, like, what I'm saying here, is this correct?
Yeah, that's
like,
it.
can I say this, or how would you like? What is your thoughts or opinion on what I'm about to say? And she would give me her advice on it, or
Yeah,
change this,
100%.
or do this, and I didn't think of it like that. So yeah, it
It's
is
so
beneficial from that end.
and it's such a nice thing to be able to have. And I think people are missing out if they haven't got that.
I think they're insecure. If you can't have your friends of the opposite sex, I think you're quite an insecure individual.
But like I said, we spoke about this last time. I did say, like, I think it does depend on the relationship, A, and then B, it depends like how you guys are hanging out as well, because a lot of guys wouldn't be okay with their woman just having one-to-ones unless they actually know the man, or unless they actually know the woman, like to a T, and go, you know, I'm comfortable enough to say, I know you're just friends, do your
Yeah,
thing.
you got to meet them. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I'm
Gotta
saying.
meet
Yeah,
'em.
of course.
You gotta suss it.
Definitely.
I
Yeah.
think making new friends whilst in a relationship is a bit
That's
odd
a bit
as well.
fishy.
Yeah,
Bit
that
weird.
is just weird for me.
Like, if it's like a previous friend like Oz was,
Yeah.
say if you'd like met your partner then met Oz like a year later, I'd find that a bit odd. Do you get what I'm saying?
You might maybe question his intentions.
Yeah.
Where it's like a new thing.
Yeah, maybe.
I do get what you're saying, and I think 9 times out of 10, I would be like, that's a bit sus, like raise an eyebrow. But I think again, it just depends on the relationship. Again, you just introduce the person. And
It's like, I suppose you're saying, like, I agree with you. Like,
Yeah, I
if
do
I
as
had
well.
a
It's a bit of a
missus,
weird one.
and all of a sudden she went on holiday with all her mates, and I don't know, she went away for a couple of weeks to fucking Thailand or wherever she went, and all of a sudden she'd met this guy out there, and all of a sudden they got really pally. I met him in a bar, and he's like, no, there literally might be 100% genuinely nothing in that whatsoever. But if all of a sudden this geezer's texting her and he's ringing her all of a sudden,
Yeah,
I'll be a bit like,
Yeah.
who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably a friend and
Start throwing.
Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah,
Yeah, that I can see. I can completely see that. But from when you're going into a relationship, you've already got male friends. As long as you don't hide them, and as long as the person you're going into a relationship with is confident enough to not have an issue with this is the thing. Like, and it depends on the girl as well. Don't get me wrong. Like, there are girls that do go out and flirt with their male friends. That I think is unacceptable.
Sure.
100% unacceptable if you're in a relationship. So it depends on the girl. You say it depends on the guy, though, don't you?
What? Sorry, say that again.
So I think there are some girls that probably would go out and flirt with their male friends, which I would find unacceptable. So I would say it bases on the girl. Like, I'm not a flirty person in the slightest. As Ozzy says, I'm like a bloke most of the time. So none of my male mates would even dream of flirting with me. They wouldn't even. It would probably make them feel sick, to be honest. So that's on me.
True.
But I think there might be girls who are quite flirty. Naturally,
Yeah.
then I would
Sure,
think
sure.
that's an issue. Then they can't. It depends on the person.
So many parameters in there.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It all just boils down to communication, though.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all it boils
And
down
trust.
To.
Yeah.
And trust. Yeah, true that.
Is
And trust.
like you're both in relationships, like, and obviously you're both happy with the people you're with. Is there any like kind of advice or tips you give to other men and women to maintain like a healthy relationship?
Like in terms of like, what do you think that people are doing wrong
Yeah.
today?
You said a really good point earlier about everything turns into an argument, which is a really toxic environment.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be like that.
I feel like people like an argument now. They actually like arguing, I think.
Yeah.
I know some girls definitely like arguing, because I know I used to be like it, but I actually can't be bothered anymore.
Yeah,
I
I
used-
used to.
With my ex, I used to, not to drag him again, but we used to argue all the time, and it used to excite me, and I'd start arguments purposely because it was just fun.
Yeah.
And
Really?
because it was
Red
because it was
flag.
fun. Walking red flag.
Yeah,
And then not just because it was fun, but like it was exciting. And if he'd piss me off the slightest thing, I'm like, yep, argument. Like,
Yeah.
I just send the argument. And then when I got with Ruben, he's so not like that. He's so chilled, and I'd think like, why are we not arguing? And then I'd turn the crazy up a bit, and he'd be like, look, I'm not arguing with you. And then we'd talk, and he'd make me talk to him. I'd be like, oh my god, now I can't be bothered to argue.
Yeah.
We don't argue,
Ruben's like a guru, isn't he?
mate. Honestly, everyone
Get on the show, bro.
everyone, I don't know what he done to me, but literally, he's a guru because we don't argue. And
Good man. I like that.
He knows how to communicate. And I think
He's
from
a good
your end, obviously,
communicator.
he was
Yeah,
young
that's
when he
key,
was with
man.
his previous
I'd hold my
guy.
hands up, and I was the shit communicator. I didn't know how to communicate before because I used to just argue, and I'd create arguments.
Do you know what? That's growth though, because taking accountability and being able to look back and say where you was wrong or where you was right is the
Yeah.
biggest improvement in your life. Because I can happily say, looking back at my previous relationship, I used to just lose my shit very quickly.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know how to communicate. Like, it would stem from her most of the time, but then I would just not handle it in the right way.
Yeah.
And now looking back, I know where I was wrong. So moving forward, you obviously need to kind of learn from that. If not, it's.
I think
it's-
guys need to realise that, you know, you can still be a bloke and masculine, a geezer, whatever, but know how to effectively
yeah.
communicate with a
Communicate,
girl.
yeah.
Like, if you're having a bad day, you're having a bad moment, whatever, like, I know it sounds really simple, and sometimes you think, oh, fuck me, I don't need to do that. But if you're having a little bit of a bad day or whatever, just go, look, I'm having a bit, like, I'm in a really bad mood right
Yeah.
now. I'll speak to you later on. And don't then fucking hound him and be like, oh, no, like, just accept it. But yeah, cool.
My old dear needs to listen to this.
But it is
I
just,
swear
her
to
alone?
God, she needs to listen to this. I've done it. Yeah, I'll go meet her after food, like to go eat with her after coming from work, and I've had a long shift. I'm like, Mum, like I've had a bit of a long. Like, I'm like, she starts like getting angry. I'm like, why are you getting angry? I've had a shit fucking evening. It's got nothing to do with you. The world don't revolve around you.
I met her the other day. Oh, shit.
it's true, but guys need to realise that. Guys need to realise
you're
that
right.
you do need to, because guys, I think, definitely have a tendency to box things up a little bit, and we tend to sort of. I go very quiet when I'm either angry or whatever it is, but I realise how I feel. I know my emotions so well, and when I am like that, I can just say to whoever it is I'm talking to, whoever, like, look, I feel a bit rough today. I'm having a bad mood. Like, I'll chat to you a bit later.
Yeah.
Have a lovely day. Have a good day. Let me just snap out of this mood,
need a
and
few
I'll
hours.
come back to
But
you.
what reactions do you normally get from that? Are they normally like, oh, all right? Or are they
I
like,
think now, because of the way how I can talk and where I know my emotions, and I'm not afraid to just say, look, I feel shit today. I'm
Yeah.
having a rough day. I'll give you a chat. Yeah, okay, cool. Have a good day. I'll speak to you
Yeah,
later on.
good.
Cool. Some girls might send you another text a few hours later. Hope you're having a good day.
Yeah.
Whatever. And you'll be like, yeah, I'm good. I'm
But
good.
you've
Hope
saved
you
an
are too.
argument then, haven't you? You've completely cut out an argument
Yeah.
of them saying, why are you ignoring me? What's
Yeah,
the problem?
yeah.
There you
So
go.
you've completely got rid of the negativity in the argument.
100%. I fucking hate
Yeah.
arguing anyways, and it completely eradicates the need for them to be sat there, and, because I'd hate it to be done to me on the other side. I'm thinking, why aren't they? Listen, I
Yeah.
don't think you should be texting that person constantly all day.
No.
Like, if they're busy, they're fucking busy. They're working. Everyone's working, whatever it is, yeah. But if all of a sudden you feel like the energy shifted, it's probably because something's wrong.
Yeah.
Just let that person
Yeah.
know that something's going to be going on.
Yes.
Like, I'm pissed off. I'm a bit fuming right now. Have a good day. I'll speak to you later on when you
Yeah.
finish work. Like, cool. Have a good one. Leave
I
it.
don't think a lot of people do that.
No.
No, they
course
don't.
they
don't.
You just don't reply. Just ignore them, don't you?
Yeah.
A lot of people like are too scared to almost say how they feel because they
Yeah.
think they're putting themselves in a
the
vulnerable
guy,
position.
the guy thinks
It's-
they're being a simp.
Bro,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
You're
it
not being
works
a
both
simp.
ways. Like I've said it to my sister, giving her advice with something in previous relationships or whatever, or even just friends are like, I don't want to say that because I don't want to give them the benefit of knowing how I feel. I'm like, listen, like that's okay. You can say how you feel. Like if you're upset, if you're annoyed, if you hold it in, it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out at a different time in an argument. Then it's not going to be listened to. But if you approach it in like a conversational way and communicate it and
Yeah.
say, look, I'm just a bit bothered about this, or I need a bit of space. And then it completely cuts out the issues that can come from it. But people are too scared to say,
Yeah.
this is how I'm feeling because they think that they're putting themselves in a vulnerable
I hate when
position.
someone goes, they want to say something, and they go, actually, no, it don't matter. But no,
Yeah.
it does, because you wanted to say it. So
Yeah.
just say it,
Yeah.
and we can chat about it. Because if you don't know, that's just going to fester.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
This
mean?
is another pressure on men because men are known for not talking about their feelings. Another thing we need to, as women, I feel, we need to learn about men not wanting why don't they want to talk about their feelings, like what is it, because I'm very open with my feelings, very but I know that men are not.
Bit
like,
harder than that, isn't it?
yeah, like so we need to learn why, and we need to be able to appreciate that there's a reason behind it.
I feel like when you're with someone as well, like I know now with Ruben, it's been like 5 years this year. I know like when he's feeling a certain type of way,
Yeah,
you
of
just
course.
learn their behaviours. I know when he's feeling a bit stressed. I know when he's tired. I know when he's like feels under pressure or something, and then you just act accordingly to your partner, don't you? You can
We'd
just
like to
sense-
think so.
Well, yeah.
A lot of women, though, I do believe this, right? A lot of women check out mentally from a relationship before they break up.
They do, yeah.
Honestly,
So
any
many my
woman else-
girlmates go, Mason, I was done 2 years
Yeah.
ago. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
any
what?
Any woman,
2 years, bro. I've had girls say to me 2
Yeah.
years I should
Yeah.
have split up in for.
because but do you know what? I rate that in a way because I feel like before actually leaving, they actually give it everything. Like that to me shows that you've given it everything. Like as in, like in a way it is because like a lot of some women don't just. Some women, like a lot of people, grass is greener. They'll go from one relationship to another. But the way I see it is, if you're sticking around and you're actually trying to make that relationship work, and it's just not worked out for whatever reason, if it's valid enough, they've mentally checked out because you're just not changing, or it's something's just not right. That's just what I think.
Yeah, okay,
Rather than
see
being a rational thing and going fuck this, I know I'm going to get 10 guys in my DMs and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why not just leave then afterwards?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why long it out?
It's almost like they can't be bothered to actually make the.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one because
Or
I
let 'em know.
suppose
You're
Yeah.
dragging. You're
You can't
dragging.
waste. You can't waste someone else's time.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not fair.
it.
We ain't ever going to get this time
You're wasting
back.
your own and you're wasting his, and
Yeah.
then you're treading in dangerous water where you're mentally checked out, and she goes on a night out, and someone tries chatting her up.
yeah,
it
yeah,
gives her a
yeah.
bit- She's going to do something that really fucks the relationship. But where if she just went, look, and obviously he's not working now. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's just call it quits,
Yeah.
and then go your separate ways rather than do something stupid.
Yeah, no, true. Maybe it's just like a logical and emotional thing where they're emotionally
Yeah.
attached to them. It's
Yeah.
like the habit of being with them. They know it's
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
true,
home.
yeah.
That home's not the best, but it's home. Where like if they mentally kind of separate that feeling, they'll go, do you know what? This isn't right. I should actually have this conversation and move on.
Is that true, girls? Like, talk to us about like how like we're only talking from what we fucking think
Yeah,
and
that's
what
just
we know. Do you know what I mean?
that's my
Like,
opinion. Like,
we're simple creatures.
I think it's an aggravation, isn't it, to go through a breakup? It's long. It really is. You've got to split the friendship group. It's just a whole big hassle, isn't it? So I think people just end up plodding along.
True.
You're just comfortable and you just stay in it for like comfortability. And I think there is that thing, like some people, yeah, they just do it because they're comfortable, but they do try. And it's like them little things that you're arguing about that you're gonna, is why you don't want to be with them, but you stay and you just keep reminding them, thinking maybe they'll do it, maybe they won't, and they don't. And you'll keep trying for a long time, and where that hasn't happened, you're already mentally checked out because
Yeah,
they
there's
haven't
only
been
so
doing
much you
it,
can do,
and then
yeah.
you just stuck. But it's like I've been trying with you for 6 months.
Quality.
And that's
Yeah.
when they've bounced because you're not doing the little things that they keep talking about. And that's why girls just they don't get over quicker, but girls are done quicker than what guys are
Yeah, that's
because
very true.
we're trying whilst we're still in it, kind of thing,
Yeah.
and then we're gone.
That's very
yeah,
true.
yeah, makes sense.
So listen,
Then they get their knee high.
listen. Within that 6 months, when she's acting shifty,
Yeah.
it's because she's trying to get you to do something and you're just not doing it. But
I
then
had literally had a friend of